Hey Embers, welcome back to the channel and welcome to part 70 of my Harvest Moon Back to Nature slow playthrough. So we are starting on day 13 of winter, year 2. And we are going to be doing, again, 3 days this episode. So the 13th, the 14th and the 15th. So we're doing our usual morning routine here of a flower for potpourri and some lumber for the fire, at least while in winter. So let's go ahead and give potpourri the flower, of course. We're going to check the weather for tomorrow. And unfortunately it's going to be another snowy day. We've had a lot of snowy days. I've probably said this before, but I wish that there were more snowy days where I was. So we've seen this before. I do love snowy days, but yeah, we don't get them that often. So with that, let's head out. We're going to check the mailbox. Nothing has come. Sounds about right. So let's go ahead and see the horse, Binky, straight away. Say hello to Binky. We're just brushing the fence there, as per usual. And next, we are actually going to grab some more lumber. So we're going to grab 9 pieces of lumber. We actually need 14 pieces to finish off the rest of winter, but we can only get 9 at a time. So we're going to grab this 9, and then we're going to come back out and grab the remaining 5 that we need. Because we already have a couple in the cupboard. Let's see how many we have in the cabinet. Yeah, we already have 3, so yes, we do need 5 more pieces after this, and then we won't have to get any more lumber out for winter. This is obviously using a bit of lumber, you know, 30 odd. I don't know if we dropped any, so that's why I said odd. This is obviously using more lumber than you need, but never mind. I don't mind. It adds to the cozy vibe. So we're probably going to go ahead and grab the other 5 as well while we're here. Yep. And we're going to check the fence while we're at it, but nothing needs replacing. So it is a birthday today, which we'll see as we go along. That is why we're not gathering the honey just yet. So we've headed into the hothouse. Our pineapples and our spinach have grown in, but we're just going to water at the moment because we have those 5 pieces of lumber. So we will be heading back into the hothouse shortly. While we're here, we might as well grab the spinach seeds that we need. And we are running low on spinach seeds, so I definitely need to buy some more. I think I forget to in this episode, but hopefully next episode we end up buying some more spinach, because I definitely need some more. So let's go ahead and pop these remaining 5 bits of lumber in the cabinet. And back out we go, back to the hothouse. Where we're going to gather this spinach. Of course, we're going to plant some more, and we're going to gather the pineapple. Okay, next onto the barn. Where again we have 18 of the 20 available animals, but hopefully Fluffy is able, we are able to make Fluffy pregnant today. So Moo is already pregnant. Let's see if this is Fluffy here. It is. So hopefully, yes, we have just made Fluffy pregnant. So that is technically animal number 20, but obviously we do have to wait for them both to give birth. So with that, we officially technically have a full barn, which is quite exciting. So keeping track of everybody is a little bit more difficult now, as you can see, but I am trying my best. So with that, we are still shipping the milk and the wool as it is, but that won't always be the case. You can also note that we are using the feeders that we haven't previously used. I think I've shown you those in a previous episode when feeding Moo. And a naughty sheep has come out. Those feeders you can use if your animal is pregnant. You don't have to use those feeders as far as I'm aware. They will eat from wherever. But again, for a bit of added realism, I have used the feeders that are out of the way for the 2 pregnant animals. I do believe that's what they're intended for, but I don't think you have to, if that makes sense. So again, we haven't gathered the honey yet because that's going to be a birthday present, so let's go ahead and look after the chickens. And we're doing it a little bit of a different way, it would seem. Doing a 5 and a 5. Which is absolutely fine. Gets the job done. We do need an egg for the harvest goddess today because it is a nice sunny day. So let's head out, and this is going to be sped up because we are, of course, going to that rock to level up our hammer. And again, leveling up the hammer is taking quite a long time. We're also going to give an egg to the harvest goddess. I've chose to speed this up this time because you've seen that plenty of times before. So we've done everything on the farm. Let's finally gather the honey and head out of the farm. So I think we check if our jewellery is done, but it's not done yet. It will be done tomorrow. So you get to see that in this episode. And again, it's a mystery whether you're going to get a bracelet, earrings or a necklace, I think it is. So we are heading to the birthday girl's house. It is Ellen's birthday today. So let's go ahead and give her her honey. And let's see what Ellen has to say. A present for me, another birthday, another year older. Yep, that tends to be how it works. So we are also checking the Harvest Sprites heart levels. And again, we're going to need 6 bags of flour. So I guess we're going to do that now. So there will be another big speed up in which we buy the flour and give it to the Harvest Sprites. So I don't really want to leave one out, but that is what we have to do, I'm afraid. We don't have to, but it would be a waste of money. It's only 50 Gs, to be fair. We are quite rich, but, you know, it would be a bit of a waste. So we are going to unfortunately miss somebody out. But with that, let's give our flour to the Sprites and head out. So what are we going to do for the rest of the day? I'm not entirely sure. But I suspect we will probably just head straight to bed. I'm not sure. Let's see. Again, I am missing a lot of fishing and mining opportunities during the winter, but there is kind of a reason for that. We're just going to say hello to May. Why not? And she says, "Oh, hi. What else?" "I like the snacks Uncle Carter bakes. They're very good. Grandpa's snacks are good too. They taste much better than the ones in town." Yeah, so there's a sort of a reason why we're not doing any more fishing and mining. One of the reasons is, of course, to keep the episode length a manageable length, but of course we can speed those parts up. So the main reason really is that we're going to be doing something next year in game, which involves trying to get the giant fish prints. So we'll be doing a lot more fishing and mining for that. So I didn't want to do too much fishing and mining this time because we are going to be doing more of that next year in game. So we are sorting out our inventory again. And we've completely lost the dog, so I do end up having to whistle Jack. And there he is. So with that, I believe we're going to head to bed, end off day 13 and move swiftly on to day 14, which is a festival day. So let's see what happens. We're woken up with a bit of a notification. He seems to be sleeping. How would he react if he woke up? So I don't know if that's the first time we've seen that or the second. I believe we were married by the 14th of winter last year. So that might be the second time we've seen this. So unfortunately, Potpourri is saying nothing new, but we do have something in our inventory, which is a chocolate cake, because it is actually the Winter Thanksgiving Festival today. So we're going to sort of do a bit of roleplay here and pretend that we are sharing this cake. We actually give it to Potpourri there, but we're going to pretend we had that cake between us for breakfast. So thank you, Potpourri, for my lovely cake. Now, unfortunately, tomorrow we didn't get away with it. There is a large snowstorm, so we will not be going out tomorrow. Now, ordinarily, I've said this before, if you were playing on your own, you would probably reload so you didn't have that storm, because we could lose our hothouse, which we'll find out next week. The storms are not good. We are checking in with Farmer Fran because it is the Winter Thanksgiving Festival, so I knew that she said something new. We have heard it last year, but yes, you're going to get a bit of Farmer Fran. It's been a while, hasn't it? So yes, ordinarily you would reload the summer storms and the snowstorms, but for this playthrough, of course, I am playing it as intended in a way. I don't want to cheat, as it were, but certainly if I wasn't playing this as a playthrough, I would 100% cheat there and probably reload. Wouldn't it be nice if the village girls gave you chocolate? Absolutely not. I'm a married man. No chocolate for me. So yes, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode because tomorrow is, of course, that sandstorm in winter, yes, that snowstorm. So again, we will see the effects of that next week. So we do need to prepare for that. Of course, that will involve getting the Harvest Sprites help, which is why, of course, we nearly forgot to give Poppy a flower there, which is why, of course, it was imperative to get their heart levels up during winter because they will be helping us tomorrow. They're not affected by the snowstorm, it seems, whereas we are unable to leave our house. So there's going to be a little bit of a speed up here, of course. Of course, we're going up to the rock and seeing how quick we can level up our hammer here. Again, I have said this before, so I don't really want to repeat myself too much, but this is not necessary. It's just because I want to get as close to 100% as we possibly can. So next up, we're going to head into the chicken coop. Let's get the chickens sorted. And again, I'm very nervous to see the after effects of this storm next week. So we will find out on day 16. We probably won't find out a lot. We'll find out in regards to the cows and the sheep, and we'll find out if our hothouse survived, of course, but we won't find out the damage done to the chickens until day 17. So very, very scary stuff there. Unfortunately, because of the storm tomorrow, we are also missing a birthday. So it is Duke's birthday tomorrow, but because we can't go out during the storm, we will unfortunately miss Duke's birthday. So hopefully he's not too mad about that. So let's go and see the horse, make sure he is, of course, securely locked in the stable for the oncoming storm. And finally for the farm, let's go ahead and sort out the barn. We are going to have to see how much damage is done to our fence next week as well, of course. So big speed up here. You will note that there is a sheep there well, there's actually two, so it doesn't really matter, but we cannot shear Fluffy at the moment because she is pregnant. So that's, of course, why we're not shearing her. We're also not getting any golden milk at the moment because Moo is pregnant. And once again, if I was doing a playthrough on my own, not on this channel, I would not make any of the animals pregnant. It's much easier to just simply buy them. But we're only doing it for the sake of 100%. Which again, I know I repeat myself a lot, but that's on the off chance that someone turns up during part 70 and has no idea what's going on. If you have, then please go back and watch part 1. I really appreciate that, although we are 70 episodes in, so it may take you a while to catch up. So this is me just double and triple checking that I have fed everybody, that I have spoke to everybody, brushed everybody, etc. Gets quite hard when you've got a full barn. So we do also need to pick up our jewellery piece today. We're going to do that a little bit later on. This is me again checking the Harvest Sprites, and we have 2 at full heart level now, so we actually only need to buy 5 flour rather than 7. Words are escaping me, as per usual. You're used to it by now with my playthroughs. So there's going to be again a little bit of a speed up here while we grab the 5 flour that we need. We give it to the Harvest Sprites, and we also have to ask the Harvest Sprites for their help. So I believe 6 of them are going to be looking after the animals, and 1 of them is going to be watering on the off chance that the hothouse does survive. We would still like those flowers watered. So hopefully that wasn't a mistake. We do have a lot of animals for them to look after, so I really do hope that everything will be okay. And we should have also asked, see, I realise I've made a mistake. We should have asked some of them to not harvest the fields, but, oh no, take care of the animals does encompass shipping the eggs and stuff, doesn't it? Never mind. Yeah, so we haven't made a mistake. If anything needs harvesting in the hothouse, of course it won't be harvested, but we may lose our hothouse anyway, so I didn't really want to put a sprite on harvesting just in case, because that would be a waste of a Harvest Sprite. So that's all done. We've only asked them to help us tomorrow. As you can see, Timid is watering and everybody else is taking care of the animals. So fingers crossed that is enough for nobody to get sick. I don't want anyone to die during this playthrough. It is possible for your animals to die if they get sick. We are trying to avoid that as much as possible. That means that I'm breaking my own rules technically, because that would mean it's not a 100% playthrough. You haven't seen everything if an animal doesn't die, but I don't want them to die, so I hope you forgive me for not showing you the animal's death if I can help it. But if it happens, unfortunately, it happens. So yeah, maybe it's a 99.9% playthrough because I don't want to intentionally show you an animal dying. I'm sure I can be forgiven for that. So now we're going to find out which jewellery piece we've ended up with, the accessory, and it looks like we've ended up with the bracelet. So let's go ahead and have a look at that. Yep, it's a bracelet. Girls will probably like the design, so it's a bangle really. You remember the noise that those make. And it's a blue colour. I think it's always the same colour. It's just random on which accessory you actually get. So we have done everything on the farm. Let's go and give Potpourri this bracelet, timed perfectly for the Winter Thanksgiving Festival, of course. Oh, how lovely. Is this for me? Thank you. I'm so happy. You're wonderful, darling. Slightly different dialogue there to what she gives for the flower. So with that, we are going to end off today and move on to day 15, where, of course, we won't be able to leave the house, but I'm sure we can get a couple of things done. So unfortunately, we have this horrible snowstorm. We won't be able to watch television. We won't be able to leave the house, but we will be able to put some lumber in the fire and give Potpourri her flower, of course. So let's go ahead and get that sorted. Now, Potpourri, unfortunately, still has no new dialogue. And it's taken quite a while for our child to arrive. So I was debating on going straight to bed, but we don't actually end up doing that. What we end up doing instead is, of course, working on the hammer. So I do speed this up a little bit. This is where I change my mind. This is sped up. We are just going to work on upgrading that hammer. So while we're doing that, of course, this is sped up. I am going to say thank you very much for watching the episode. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Again, we will see the damage from the storm next week, so I'm really nervous for that. Very, very nervous. But I hope you have enjoyed this episode. We are just going to quickly check how much percentage, how many percentage? I'm not sure. How much is left on the hammer? Let's have a quick look. 138, okay. So with that, I will see you next week. Until then, bye Embers.